Hi, it's Louise at Spiral Bright Insight, and I'm here to talk about the full moon in Virgo, which is happening on the 24th of February. Now, this is when the moon will be in Virgo with the sun in the opposing sign of Pisces. And this is happening at 5 degrees 23 minutes of Virgo, according to Astro Gold. Now, before I sort of go into any more depth about this, obviously the 5 and then the 23 combined makes 5. So you've got the double 5 energy here. And the 5 is sort of the midpoint of the number scale. 5 represents change, it represents adventure, it represents a shift, and it is the kind of the pivot point where things can you can think you're going one way, and then there can be a very sudden shift and take you on a completely different trajectory. So it kind of, this is the third full moon at 5 degrees. Sorry, the second of 3 full moons at 5 degrees. We had the one in January, we've got this one in February, and then March's full moon will also be at 5. But the double 5 energy coming through the numerology in this full moon just feels really quite significant. And the fact that the moon is an earth moon being in Virgo, full moons are always about endings. So, we can expect there's a completion of something taking place as the full moon comes into, it's the end of its cycle. But because of the 5 energy, it feels as if, the changes that are taking place are quite very tangible and, will make a big, we'll really feel it. Because of the earth energy, it is quite solid and lasting change. So, as I alluded to, full moons are when the moon comes into exactly the oppositional point to the sun. So the sun is in Pisces at the point of this full moon. It is also sitting with Mercury and Saturn. So we've got some really beautiful fixed star galactic energies coming through, and I will get to talk about those shortly. But I wanted to talk about the energies of Virgo first and foremost. So Virgo is the 6th sign of the zodiac. It is an earth sign. It is mutable, and it is ruled by Mercury. So there's a real sort of intellectual energy coming through Virgo, because Mercury is all about the mind, it's about the message, it's about the stories we tell ourselves. Now, Virgo and Pisces are actually on the axis of service, with Virgo being more service to the physical realm and Pisces being service to the more spiritual and the divine realms. So this is very much about pulling sort of our higher selves, our spiritual selves down into the body to become embodied. So it is about embodied spirit and the embodiment of our higher selves and those sort of more ethereal divine energies. It is very much about bringing spirit down to earth and how that is going to manifest through the energies of this full moon. Now, Virgo is a very healing sign. It is very much about purification. So there is often an ability, if you have strong Virgo in your chart, to be able to transmute energies and to take lower energies, particularly in the earth realm, and to transmute them. And there is also a real sense of integrity that comes through Virgo, in discernment, an ability to sort of be able to tap into truths and know what's real and what is not. There is also a real sense of being analytical, of being able to dig right into the detail and sort of be very meticulous and ordered and structured with any information that is coming through. So with Virgo, you can sift through lots and lots of facts and information and really kind of get to the nitty gritty and know what's going on and what's real and what's not. And there's a real sense of efficiency here. So if we are being bombarded with information, which is quite possible because that seems to be, part of the course in our society these days, with this full moon, it's going to be easier to know what is truth and to sort of feel into that. And because this is an earth full moon, there is also a sense of being able to tune in through the body and to sort of use that analytical energy, but feel in through the body to know what's real and what's not. As this moon is in the first decan, because when we have we have 30 degrees of each sign, the first 0 to 9 degrees falls into the first decan. So the 5-degree point is within the first decan, which makes it a very physical full moon as well, a very physical experience. Now, in the opposing part of the chart, we have Pisces, and Pisces is very strong at the moment. We have Neptune in Pisces, we have the Sun now in Pisces sitting with Mercury and Saturn, and Pisces energy is very much still about healing, but healing the spirit. It is about unity, it is about compassion, it is also about sort of endings. Now, what's really interesting is that we've got these beautiful fixed stars conjunct the 3 planets in Pisces, and these are Fomalhaut, which is one of the royal stars and very linked to Archangel Gabriel, and also Deneb Adige in the Cygnus constellation. Now, this is activating because the Sun in particular sort of empowers the fixed star that it comes into contact with. But there's also a sense with Mercury of, there's very strong messages coming through with this angelic energy, and Saturn is bringing a kind of authority as well, a sense of mastery, and also a sense of responsibility to these beautiful fixed star energies. Now, Fomalhaut in particular, as I said, is linked to Archangel Gabriel, and Gabriel is the messenger. And, it feels as if not only do we have this beautiful archangelic support at this time, which is really shining a light on the more sort of physical aspects of our healing journey. And just to sort of sidestep very briefly, we've obviously had the North Node Chiron conjunction earlier in the week, which, is a really profound point of healing in our kind of evolution. But with this archangelic Fomalhaut energy, it really feels as if, there's messages coming through that, as the moon represents the people in the chart, that the Sun really wants us to hear these messages, and the archangelic realms want us to hear. They want us to be able to tune into this information and to be able to feel it through the physical. So Fomalhaut is also very closely aligned with Christ consciousness and that beautiful divine frequency. And so, there can be a sense of suffering here. And in this case, it feels like, there's a real strong acknowledgement that there has been suffering and that there is suffering, and that almost suffering is part of our ascension process and part of this journey of being human, because we often have to feel things in a very physical way through our bodies to be able to really integrate them and to understand them and to be able to process them. So it feels, with this full moon, that we are processing an awful lot of energy, of light, but we have this light sort of being shone upon us as we do it. And this is about sort of helping us to move beyond our wounds through this healing, through the North Node and Chiron conjunction, to be able to then become the healer ourselves and be able to support others. So this is about sort of being able to find the light within ourselves, and then as we do so, we can help others to do the same. So, it is a very beautiful, beautiful energy that's coming through the Sun, Saturn and Mercury. And, like I said, there is a message here that we are supposed to hear and that we're supposed to really take notice of and to integrate and to sort of accept. We also have the moon. The moon in Virgo is conjunct Thuban in the Draco constellation. So again, we've talked a lot about dragon energy. You know, obviously we are now in the year of the wood dragon, and the dragon energy is really strong, but it is appearing in this full moon chart as well. Now, Thuban is all about sort of helping us to awaken to the truth. And to feel that truth within us. You know, when you feel truth in your body, you kind of, certainly if you're empathic and spiritual, you know, we often feel truth in a physical way. I kind of describe it as kind of the spiritual shivers, if you like, or the goosebumps. If you sort of hear something that is truth, your kind of body resonates and acknowledges that. And I'm sure, you know, there will be so many people watching this will know exactly what I'm talking about. This is kind of this is an opportunity to really tap into that and to feel that through the physical body with this earth full moon. There's also a lot of power, a lot of wisdom coming through with the Thuban and dragon energy. And also taking us into a kind of state of more neutrality, because Thuban helps us to sort of accept that there is both light and dark, both good and evil in this world. And this is very much a part of shadow work, where we are integrating and learning to integrate sort of the parts of ourselves where we've maybe felt uncomfortable, we've felt shame, we've wanted to turn our backs, hide, or, you know, repress the information and the emotions and the truths. And this is bringing us, or helping us, to come back to a point of more neutrality, which is where the deep healing can happen. And of course, as well in the chart, you know, we have Mars is conjunct Venus, and we'll do a separate video about that, because that is a really important energy happening in the same week as this full moon. But this is about balancing the masculine and the feminine energies as well. And with those particular planets in a square to Jupiter, you know, this is about pushing for growth, but in a very tangible way, because Jupiter in Taurus wants us to expand, wants us to learn, wants us to grow. But through Taurus, it's like this change, this growth, this expansion is going to be very real and very long lasting. It's going to affect what we value and what we appreciate in life through the Taurus energies. And so, you know, really very beautiful energy. And I'll just make one final observation, in that Jupiter is in an opposition to a crux in the crux constellation. Now, this star is very linked to enlightenment, sort of higher knowledge, higher consciousness. But there's also a sense of sacrifice here with the cross, you know, sort of bringing us back to, again, sort of themes of Christ, which we've already got in this full moon chart through the Fomalhaut conjunction. But it is as if, you know, we are being, or there is an acknowledgement that we have had to and are still to sacrifice a great deal in order to kind of be here, to be human, to kind of follow through this ascension process that we are part of, and that, you know, it does take dedication. We need tenacity, we need to be, we need perseverance, we need patience. That, you know, growth does take time, but there is this kind of, yeah, just an acknowledgement that, you know, we have been through an awful lot, and, you know, that it is part of the sacrifices that we're making, but that it will be worth it in the long run and in the end. And so a really, really beautiful full moon this month. You know, some real deep healing opportunities available to us all. And yeah, very, very angelic energies coming through as well, which, you know, is, we all need that right at this time. I think, you know, it's not easy. So I hope you found that interesting and useful. Apologies for the dog barking in the middle. If you want to sign up for my newsletter, I send a monthly newsletter out. You can do that on my website. If you're interested in any of the readings that I offer, find out all about that on my website. So that's spiralbright.co.uk. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. I truly do appreciate it. So have an amazing weekend and week. Bye.